Hello, this is Forrest Hohen from Synergo Media, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the Motorola Droid Razr HD. I've actually been meaning to do a review on this for quite a while now. I did a review a while ago on the OtterBox Defender case for this phone, so I figure it's about time I actually do one on the actual phone itself. So I have the phone right here, so let's start off on the hardware aspect. Pretty much on the side it has the micro SD in the SIM card slot right there. Yeah, it comes with a I can't say special tool because you can just use like a small thumbtack or a paper clip, but it does come with like a key with the Motorola brand on it that you use to poke in that hole, and then it pops that tray out which has the SIM card and also the micro SD card. Here you have the micro USB port, and that's what you use to charge the phone or plug it into a laptop to get files or whatever. And the next one down is the micro HDMI port, and I actually have never used that so far. I've actually been wanting to, just to see what it looks like on a monitor or a TV. On the bottom, 2 screws and nothing else. Top, you have the headphone jack, and then on this side you have, let me see if I can hold it. I'm trying to do this one-handed, so it's a little hard. Here you have the power button and the volume up and down button, or it's a rocker. For the main display, and yes, I'm using a crappy flip HD video camera, as you can see. But anyways, on the top you have the Motorola brand, and then right under that, and it's probably hard to see, looks a little blurry from my side, so I'm not sure if you can see it well, but there is actually a light right there. And then next to that is the, I believe it's a 1.3 megapixel front-facing camera, and over here you have a light sensor that adjusts the display according to the ambient light you're in. And then the screen is a 4.3 inch, I want to say it is a 720 by 1280 Super AMOLED HD display, 720p. And yes, I'm just reading the specs off the website. And then, really hard to see, down over here you have the microphone. So that's on the front, and then on the back you have your flash, and then right under that is a microphone. Then you actually have the 8 megapixel, I guess you call it back-facing camera. And then you have a speaker there. Motorola logo, and 4G LTE Verizon, and probably serial numbers on the bottom. But this area is all Kevlar, so which is really nice. It obviously has the very industrial look to it, which I personally like. But yeah, and it's kind of funny that I'm doing this now, this review, because Verizon just came out, or not Verizon, I mean Motorola just came out with the Moto X, and then they also just came out with the Droid Ultra and the Droid Mini, and I thought there was one other one, but I cannot remember what it was called. Here, let me see real quick. The Droid Max, the Droid Ultra, and the Droid Mini. Those are the 3 new ones that came out, so they're just came out recently, so this is actually an older phone now. And I was doing some research on those 3 other phones, and thinking, oh man, those look awesome. I want to, maybe upgrade to one of those. And after some research, I found out that none of them had better specs than this one. Let me take that back. Only had maybe 1 or 2 specs that were higher than this. In fact, most of them have the 10 megapixel camera now, but the Droid Ultra and the Droid Mini, the new ones, neither of those ones actually have a better battery life than this one. This one has a 2,530 milliamp hour battery in it, so it lasts a pretty good time. I think I get 24 hours off of this, but the Droid Ultra and Droid Mini don't. The only phone that, the new one, the Droid Max, which is one of the new ones, that's the only one that came out with a better battery. And that, I forget what the exact, I believe it's over 3,000 milliamps, obviously. But one thing I was doing research on these phones that kind of strayed me away from it was not this phone, but the Droid Max, Droid Ultra, and Droid Mini, is that they got rid of the micro SD card slot on all of them. And now me, I'm a power user, and so obviously I root my Android phone, and I use titanium backup and backup to the micro SD card. But if I had the Droid Max, Droid Ultra, Droid Mini, then that would be harder to do, and I do like having external storage on that. So that kind of strayed me away. So I'm actually thinking about keeping this one for quite a while until they come out with something better, and I'm hoping that they get the micro SD feature back into their phones. So yeah, so that's pretty much the hardware aspect. I'm going to go into the software. Now if I could do my pattern. But yeah, it originally came with Android 4.0, which is Ice Cream Sandwich, and then shortly after I was able to upgrade to 4.1, which was Jelly Bean. One thing I do have to say to power Android users is that if you do root your phone, which is possible with this, the problem is the guy who roots these droids, he no longer comes up with the roots for them anymore. And that was just very recently. So now, if you do an upgrade, a firmware upgrade, or a Android upgrade, it is very hard to get a root back. And I attempted a couple times through upgrades. I lost my root, and it was a big fiasco trying to get it back root. I ended up having to flash previous firmwares into it, so that way I could reroute it, and then save the root, unroot, upgrade, reroute through Voodoo save Voodoo. But yeah, other than that, in terms of use and all that, it's a great phone. I absolutely love it. It does everything I need to. I like the size of it. It's not too big. Like I see the Samsung Galaxy stuff, which is just absolutely humongous. It's like, it's almost like using an iPad as a phone. Yes, I'm exaggerating, but it's a very nice size. I absolutely love it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I forgot to mention. Trying to look on the specs here. It doesn't weigh that much, which is great, and it's actually pretty thin. Obviously, since it's a Razr. Oh, internal storage. I almost forgot about that. So pretty much for internal storage, it technically has 16 gig of internal storage, but obviously the ROM uses up some of it. So by the time Android is installed and all that good stuff, you have about 12 gig of memory. And then you can put into this phone, not any of the newer models, but you can put in up to a 32 gig micro SD card. And so for a while I had a 16 gig micro SD card. I've swapped SD cards out a lot, so it's definitely nice having that. So if you want one with micro SD card, go with this phone. Do not go with the more recent phones if you want micro SD capabilities, because as I said, they got rid of that. But yeah, I mean, obviously has Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, 4G LTE capabilities, everything. I can't decide if I want to go into more of the software aspect, but I mean, it's just running your basic Jelly Bean stuff. So obviously you have your app drawer and your home screen with all your widgets and everything. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. If you have any questions or comments, please comment below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Also, subscribe, as I will be uploading more reviews on different pieces of electronics, laptops, cell phones, anything you can think of. And if you want me to review on something more specific, let me know and I'll see if I can do it. So that's it. So that's my review on the Droid Razr HD.